Joining me now is Rogers Holdings Chairman Jim Rogers. And Jim, it is good to see you on Skype in Singapore this morning. Do you think this tax plan is going to move markets?
No, I don't. It's not nearly as much as we thought. Mr. Trump, he promised us a lot before. Certainly any tax cut is better than nothing, Maria, but it's not as much as he suggested last year.
Well, he's got a LLC and a pass-through rate of 28%. That's down from almost 40% for small business. That's got to be some tax relief, Jim, for really who are the job creators in this country, small and medium-sized businesses.
Yes, Maria, but we knew that was coming. I mean, he's talked about it a long time. He said it was going to be lower than that. I repeat, any tax cut is good. But as you know, markets anticipate, and the markets, for whatever reason, have anticipated most of this already.
What do you want to see in terms of policy coming out of Washington, Jim? What would investors want to see in order to actually feel like we can move the needle on economic growth?
Oh, well, if he cuts taxes even more, especially individual taxes, he cuts them more. Throughout history, when you cut taxes, remember John Kennedy did it, and we boomed for a while. So cutting individual taxes and corporate taxes has always helped any economy in the world. Mrs. Thatcher did it. A lot of people have done it.
Let me ask you about currencies. Obviously, the dollar has been recovering a bit from a tough year, being down while the euro has soared. What's your take in terms of the currency story right now?
Well, I'd rather own the U.S. dollar than the euro at this point. The U.S. dollar did have a correction this year, but it had a very, very strong couple of years, Maria, and anything that has a strong couple of years corrects. I own a lot of U.S. dollars. I expect it to go higher. The euro is going to have more problems. The yen is going to have more problems. They're all going to have problems.
Why? Why, Jim?
Oh, why? Well, partly because the euro is going to continue to be hit with secession movements. You see what's happening in Spain right now. You see what's happening in Kurdistan. It's not Europe, but at least, the same sort of mentality exists everywhere. The yen has got gigantic debt problems. Maria, the Japanese central bank now owns 40% of all Japanese debt. They have been buying staggering amounts of debt and printing a lot of money. They own huge numbers of Japanese stocks and ETFs. They print money, put it in the markets. That cannot go on forever. I'm not the only one who knows there's a problem developing.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe is expected to dissolve Parliament's lower house on Thursday. He says he wants to do a snap election in an effort to take advantage of improved party ratings after polling suggests that Abe's Liberal Democratic Party has the most support. Jim, what's your take on this snap election? What does that mean for the Japanese and global markets?
As you know, nearly every snap election in the last year, including ours, wasn't a snap election, but all new elections have caused problems for the establishment. This one will, too. Mr. Abe says he's going to raise taxes. I would suspect the lady who's running against him, who's a very smart lady, is going to make him look pretty foolish in the end.
And tell me how you would allocate capital right now. I understand you're worried about exchange-traded funds.
Well, I'm worried about the currency markets. Since we're talking about the currency markets, I see there are going to be problems with the yen. I see there are going to be problems with the euro. The dollar will go higher as a result. And whenever you have a lot of turmoil in currency markets, it usually leads to problems in equity markets. I own equities. I certainly own a lot of Asian equities. The Chinese market's down 50% from its all-time high. America's at an all-time high. Japan is down 50%. I'd rather own markets that are down than ones that are up.
So, Germany, Merkel just won a fourth term. How do you allocate money today? Look around the world. Just quickly tell us where you would put money in equities today, if anywhere.
China, Japan, Korea, Russia. Go to Asia. Don't go to the West.
All right. We will leave it there. Jim Rogers, always a pleasure to see you, sir.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you, Jim.